Welcome back to Bitcoin Advisors channel. My name is Chris, bringing it to you from Westlake Village, California. It is bright and early. We're going to talk about inflation and more specifically, what are the short-term and long-term effects, all the news coming out right now. We're going to talk about CVD, cumulative volume delta, how to analyze that in brief, and what could potentially cause the next out. And yeah, maybe a few trade setups. So if you do enjoy some of those topics, make sure you stick to the end, smash the like button, and let's get into it right off the bat. So the inflation numbers did come out higher than expected. We talked about this in the beginning of the week. Well, lower inflation would be bullish and higher inflation would be on the bearish side. Now, I call this the CP lie report because it's just lies. You can't trust these numbers, and they can always reevaluate. And we did had some positive things yesterday that Jerome Powell said at the FOMC meeting. We also had some negative things. I think on the positive side was that he basically is allowing, he thinks banks should offer crypto, something along those lines, that they support the stablecoin narrative. They took down all their DEI stuff. Oh, Elizabeth Warren was crying about it yesterday and global warming and blah, 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 blah. And Powell just basically laughed in her face. Very nice, refreshing to see. That woman should be gone. All right, inflation came in month over month at 0.5%. It was the highest inflation reading and jump that we've had, I think, in some time, along with inflation year over year at 3%. So 0.5 is much lower. That's month over month, but 3%. It's still 2.9, big deal. It could be because of some of the tariff things. It could be because of, some of the people that are just spending more money because they know Trump's in office and the economy is going to go good. The other thing I think we should bring up is the liquidity chart, which I'll see if I can bring that up here before we get into Bitcoin price action and that cumulative volume delta and what could possibly cause the next altcoin rally. I'll tell you exactly. It's going to be an altcoin rally or an altcoin demolition, which is what we've seen thus far. Let's see if I can find this old chart. I don't see it in my favorite at the moment. So, by the way, if you want to learn how to use TradingView, there's a link in the description below. We show you how to set it up for free, and you can set your own charts up, your own favorites, your own good things that you want to see. Liquidity, did I delete it? Oh, there it must be it. And boom. The one that we like to keep our eyes on also is China. When China starts dropping in some dimes, as you can see back here, fresh liquidity added on that wick when Bitcoin was 3,700. That was the COVID dump off there. But we also had a volume spike here, and stable coin supplies are going up. So that, I imagine, affects the stable coin, going down. Good for Bitcoin. Stable coins going up, generally bad. And we can look at tether dominance for that, but I don't want to get too far into the weeds and just see here, central bank assets, net USD liquidity, ECB Fed assets are in red. So essentially what the Fed said yesterday was they're going to continue to taper. You remember the taper tantrum? Essentially what they are selling their mortgage-backed securities and bonds. They are not doing QE, quantitative easing, is when they're buying mortgage-backed securities and bonds. And Jerome Powell said yesterday, hey, look, we are likely not going to start quantitative easing until interest rates go back to zero. He's got a bunch of bullets left. And, not exactly the most bullish thing for the risk on assets, but, this is the stock market that never goes down, guys. We are in a parabolic blow-up phase. I do think even if Bitcoin does head lower, there's still a greater chance of some higher prices ahead of us. Speaking of that, so we went over the inflation numbers. What do we have tomorrow? Tomorrow is Thursday. Oh yeah. So in regards to the inflation, tomorrow's jobless claims and PPI and core PPI, all the lies reports. Okay. Nothing too important, but here was the most important thing that I noticed. I watched the Trump overhaul the meeting yesterday. To cut the budget deficit by $1 trillion between now and next year, there is no inflation. Interesting what Elon's saying here. The last report that Trump is going to be meeting with Putin in Russia, and Russia is going to be meeting with Trump here in the U.S. And what begs the question is the war going down going to help out with inflation? Yes, of course it will. So, two anti-inflationary things which could combine and essentially make things a lot brighter for Bitcoin. Much, much brighter. Let's see if they'll go back to the chart I had up here before. And we do have a green dot on the daily time frame, which is, a point for the bulls there. And what else did we talk about all week long? And I don't know if my guy even posted the video from Monday, but, essentially, this is the golden pocket, which we've been sitting in here for how many days? I would call it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days. 9 days sitting in the golden pocket, and something big is about to happen. You can see volatility is beginning to decline, meaning a mean reversion bounce, right? So back to bounce to the upside. And then there's your golden pocket to the upside. What am I talking about, the golden pocket? That is the 0.5 to the 618. Something did not go right there. Did it? Did it? There we go. 0.5 to the 618 is this little pocket right here. I guess I need to clean that up slightly. So looking for shorts in that area, at least to hedge the long positions from this area. That is kind of the name of the game right now. And here's what I wouldn't be surprised if we bounce around in this area for some time and just bore everybody out. It's could be a time in the market right now. Essentially, you want to see more liquidity coming into the market, lower interest rates for risk assets to start to perform. And that, I guess, brings me to my next point here. You can see actually the cumulative volume delta, the CVD, which I've always been fairly interested in this indicator. And what's beginning to happen is what's called bullish divergence, where when this is going down, it means shorts are opening up as the price is going up. So you got the divergence in price. Price is making a higher low here. If it confirms in the next hour, 4-hour closure back above, I'd say anywhere wick is good enough for me. And as that news came out, you saw the liquidity grab. We tagged this last little low where a lot of stops are probably hanging out, and grab the liquidity there, and then let's squeeze it up, right? There's all this pent-up liquidity up here. We could potentially make a run at the highs all the way back to 120,000. What am I talking about? See all these highs right here? That is fresh liquidity. So the people went short here, right? They're just moving their stop losses down, 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 down. And it sends up Bitcoin to about 110,000. So we will see, and this was actually your signal to go long. Here, when you're getting the bullish divergence and you see open interest start to tick up. And it looks like shorts are still opening, and we're about to confirm a higher low. So for me, first target, actually, I'll just mark it off here with a nice little horizontal, 100,000. Second target, boom, 102.5. 102.4464. And let's just see if we can line that up with any of our favorite Fibonacci zones here. Does that line up with anything? It lines up with the 0.5. It lines up with the 786 coming in at 103. So I do like that for some points of confluence there. Back onto our Bitcoin chart. If we can use we're right at the point of control. So, yep, really needs to get above there. And here's another thing to note is we've been just sitting on the inside of this weekly candle. Let's remove all this stuff here. But this was last week's price action. So we were sitting inside right in the middle of last week's price action. Today is Wednesday. So, if we are going to get a big move, what could trigger the squeeze? Well, stocks are starting to head up. Dixie is hopefully putting in a top. And all right, back onto the last topic here, Bitcoin dominance here. And this, where I think we can either get a break up or a breakdown. If it breaks down, right, you can see even on the daily time frame, just as Bitcoin dominance is coming down, looks like it does want to come down. You can see alts are getting some relief here today. Bringing up the banter bubbles, which let's see if we can get it to load. Ooh, virtual for the year leading the way. That is an AI token. Okay. Let's see about today. You can see we're getting some green on the board today, even despite the bear news. And that's what gives me more of a belief that the short squeeze is kind of coming in. When you see these licks along a support line, a wick, right? Look at these wicks. Every one of them has bounced on that hourly time frame fairly nicely. Now, short term, do we get one more test down? Perhaps. We hit the 786 perfectly. It does look like it wants to retrace a bit more. Is that a trade setup? Do we have a red dot? Nope. No red dot, but we do have this bearish divergence coming from there. It looks like it already played out. And now we are printing bullish divergence. Price is making, so has that played out yet? Are we going to stay in the dead cat zone? Is this going to make a bull flag or not? And that, again, is somewhere we can go to our CVD chart and look on the 1 minute. This is something new for me. I'm just learning about this, so forgive me if I'm not making total sense here. But on the 1 minute time frame, we've got open interest. Where did it really take a leg up? Right here. And you can see the bearish divergence there. Bearish divergence. Shorts are not coming in though. CVD is going up. So longs are coming in as open interest came in. So the longs came in here at the high. So what's most likely to happen? Yeah, they're going to send it down first, and then perhaps higher. And we can also look at the heat map here and see what liquidity is sitting down below us. Yep, see, we grabbed all that liquidity down here, and now what's the next thing? Bloop. So if we lose that low, which is probably your 382, the next target is going to be your 786. If we lose that, it's going to be a full round trip, just like they like to do it. Again, on the 1 minute time frame, we were looking at it. So what am I talking about? There's your 382. Right here, there's your first target. If we front run that bounce zone, that would be okay. We bounced off this high. That is just too much boxes. Let's delete them all. Remove, boom. All my boxes are gone. And now we can go from the low to the high here. That 382 is going to provide a bounce on the first pass. If we lose that area, probably coming all the way down here. If we lose this one, all the way down here. And we tag that liquidity one more time. But yeah, it looks like a head and shoulders to me. And back down to the golden pocket. So that would be the trade setup. A little bit late there. And let's see if we got it on the 5 minute. No. 15 minute. No. Bearish divergence on the 15 minute. Pretty strong here. Not very slanted though. So short-term time frames, what does it look like? Whoop, down. One more lower high, down. And then kind of judge it from there. 4 time frame did print a green dot, so that's good also. Hourly time frame. A lot of volatility sitting around those FOMC meetings, these various things here. So Bitcoin dominance is coming down. And where's the main source of liquidity right now? Right here. I would expect a bounce from this area. Boom. Let's see if I can pull up my other chart. See if I can get any more context for what could potentially happen. We're going to come back down one more time, bounce it off there, and then send it up to the 382 at 99.6. That'll be our rejection zone on the first pass, 99, call it 99.671. And then we got to judge it from there. Then we have to judge it from there. So I'm going to give this one more shot. We're in the golden pocket. We can dance around in here one more time. One more ping down. And let's see what other news comes out, guys. That's it from me today. I hope you all... Oh, yeah. So here's, again, lastly, what I mentioned, what I think could potentially cause the next altcoin rally is a reversal on this. And right now, it's not in yet. Short-term down, right? Could give some relief to the altcoins, but doesn't look like it's ready. 5-day time frame. Momentum is still strongly to the upside, and this wick probably does get filled at some point. So short-term down could give us a relief bounce over the weekend. But really, in order for the party to get started to the downside, closure below here would be good. Closure below that low, setting a new trend on the 5-day, even on the daily, that would be very, very good. Yeah, to me, this does look like, mean reversion bounce, which is from the high to the low, giving us a target down here into this green box of peace and prosperity and death and despair for your altcoins. As we come down here, could be your last altcoin bounce before the bear heavens come in. So down here, that would be your best case scenario. Most likely, I'll let you decide. Make sure you leave a comment below, smash the like button, and share it with a friend if you can. All right. Thank you guys. Have a blessed one. Take care.